Hey guys, this is my 22 kilowatt generator and it's time for a service. It's not really difficult to do. Can run a couple $100 if you call somebody out to do it, but it's very simple. First thing you do is just go on Amazon and look for a service kit for the size generator you have. Mine's 22 kilowatts. And the kit comes with 2 quarts of 5W30 oil, an air filter, oil filter, a couple of spark plugs that are already gapped, and then it comes with a little bag that has some wipes to wipe things down, a little tag if you want to annotate when the last time you did your service, funnel for your oil, and instructions, which I'm going to do. It's pretty easy. So the first thing you got to do is, let me see if I can get this up here. Open up your generator. Sometimes there's a breaker in the back. You can turn that off. Got a breaker. Oh, got some Hornets that I got to get rid of. All right. Hornets are gone. Here's my breakers. Still got some bee stuff on it. Go ahead and turn them off. Breakers are off. Make sure on your little menu, turn the system off. Okay, turn this back down. Let's see if I can bring this over here. Got the door up. Grab this and lift. There it goes. Top comes out. Set it to the side. So you have a battery, which I need to clean up. This battery is a little bigger than it should be, but it just barely gets in there. I'm going to take a brush, kind of clean up these contacts, make sure this battery is good. You can take the caps off, make sure it's full of distilled water. This battery is probably a couple years old, so maybe time to get a new one anyhow. So I got this in here. Come on. So first thing you got to do is drain off your oil. So you have a hose right back here. Maybe I'll turn this around this way. Maybe that'd be better to look at. Like that. You have a hose right here. It's with this little, some of them are hooked to a clamp. Some of them are clamped like that. Mine has a little plastic holder. Take this, hold it down into your hold it down into here, open up this cap and let it drain. And then open up the oil fill which is up here, which should let it drain on out. Set that aside. All right, so like I was saying, you'll get this oil that's milky. That's actually normal. The reason why it does that is because the generator doesn't run all the time. Most of the time throughout the year, maybe if you're lucky, a couple times it would run for a few hours if you'd lost power. Other than that, it only does the 10 or 15 minute cycle for testing. The problem with that is it builds up condensation inside the engine. From hot and cold, running such a short period, the oil doesn't really get to heat up and cycle like it should. So condensation gets inside the engine, and that causes water in the oil. So that milky oil is very common. That's why you have to service it at least, you know, they say annually. Honestly, I go every 2 years. I've had this generator for, shoot, I don't know if it has a date. 11 years. No, I think it's about 10 years old, 10 to 12 years old. So it's a good idea to service it at least every 2 years. If you can, every year. So this can take a while to drain. So I'm gonna let this go ahead and finish. There, I got something rigged to hold the hose down. Because if you don't, the hose will come up and it will just drain a lot slower. So I just use this oil bottle to hold it down. So while it's draining, I'm gonna go ahead and change the spark plugs. Simple. Just pull this wire out. You can get a deep well 5/8, or you can get an actual spark plug that has, usually it has like a little rubber cushion inside there. And what that does is when you push in the spark plug, it holds it. So, that shouldn't be really that tight. Here it is right here. There's one on this side, and there's one on the other side. The one on the other side is kind of a little tight, tight to get to. And you can see they're pretty clean. Technically, it doesn't even look like it is, but the whole kit comes with one, so you might as well replace it. And they're pre-gapped. A lot of people say you should check the gap, but they're sealed up in a little container, so, or a little shipping thing, so you really shouldn't have a problem. Might have some noise in the background because this is coming up on 4th of July. And I might buy Tinker Air Force Base, and they have an air show going on today. So you just want to torque it down a little bit. You don't want to really squeeze it down tight. Get this one. And then the other one. Let's see if you can see this. The other one, you can see the hose right here. It's underneath this. This is what they use to bring the motor in and mount it. So you should pull it up like that. Kind of stick it out the way. And like I said, it's not very tight. So you should be able to get it out. And then, let me get this out. Can't do it with one hand. There it goes. You can see that one's not bad either. I don't even think they replaced that one. This one looks a little worse than the other one. Because believe it or not, they don't look so bad. And sometimes when you get service, make sure they replace them both. Sometimes some people get lazy. Put the cable back on. Make sure you hear it click and snap in. Next thing, up here is the air filter. Just pop this clip down. You gotta actually lift up underneath to lay it down. Lift up. Come on. There it goes. As you can see, it's actually not that dirty either. It only goes in one way. Pretty simple. Line this back up in here. Line this in here. There's a clip in the back. See these little clips back here? So you got to get it in the back and then push it forward. There it goes. That's done. This is done draining now. We'll close this off. Put it back up here. When you take off the oil filter, you may lose some oil. So, I'll do it now. Paper towel. Take a paper towel, set it right under there, and it should, two hands, figures, it shouldn't be that tight. But now I got to get an oil filter wrench. I'll be right back. All right, couldn't find my oil filter wrench, but ain't nothing that a nice pair of channel locks can't fix. Right on the back side. Oh, I can't believe they put this on this time. I'm going to be replacing the filter anyhow. Should I get this? Let's see, we'll get some oil dripping out. Pour it out into the oil pan, your drain. Yep, it makes a mess. All right. New filter. You always want to make sure you lube this seal. So take your oil, your new oil, and just stick your finger in it and then just rub some oil on that seal. And then go ahead and put it back on, put the new one on. Now, you do not need to torque it down and tighten it. Just take your hand, and when it feels tight, you're good. Just clean up the inside of this. Now, get my little rag here that they give you. I'm gonna clean up over top of this area where the oil fill is. Definitely don't want to get any dirt and grime down inside there. Put in your little funnel, 2 quarts. I keep the bottles because I'm gonna drain my waste into the bottle so I can take it for disposal. Quart number 2. That's it. Take this out. Put this at the bottom so it don't hang out all over the place. Take my little rag, clean off this oil cap. Got all kinds of dirt and stuff on it. Turn my breakers back on. Make sure you got your caps on everything. Got my cap here, got my cap here, got my oil filter. You don't want any oil spilling anywhere. Get on out of here. Still got a bee trying to find his home. And then you want to hit manual to start it. Once that's done, pull your dipstick, wipe it clean, all the way down and back out. And I'm full of oil. Nice and clean too. Now, the next thing you want to do is you want to reset. So I'm always in auto. Spec battery tells me my battery life's getting done. So go down. It says right there, hit enter. It comes up, service performed. Enter for yes. Ready to run. I'm in auto. And you're done. Now I can come down and check the battery. It says battery condition good. We're good to go. I had them do a firmware upgrade the last time they were out. I had them come out and do the service because I wanted a firmware upgrade because I kept getting a buzzing noise. And the only way to turn the buzzing noise off was to shut off my main breaker to the generator and then back on. If you're hearing that noise, call your generator service, whoever services your generator in your area, have them do a service. You'll have to pay for it, but also have them upgrade the firmware because the latest firmware fixes that buzzing problem. Mine no longer does it. So I do my own service. Now I should have a green light. Looks good. So there you go. If you guys got any questions, any critiques, hit me up, comment at the bottom, and subscribe. I'll talk to y'all later. I'm still going to service that battery, clean it all up, and check the water levels. Have a good one.